All right, let's talk about the steps we use to find zeros. Okay, so I've got an example written out here of an equation. It's already set equal to 0. Our first step is always going to be just by graphing. We're just going to see what we can get off by graphing. You could also see if there was a greatest common factor of x, that would automatically tell you that there's a 0 at x equals 0 as well. Okay, so starting by graphing, let's go ahead and I've already graphed this one over here on Desmos. So if you can see here on Desmos, this function, it's cubic, right? So it has a little bit of a squiggle there. If we zoom in here on the 0, we can see that we have a 0 at, I have something written incorrectly here. What's wrong about my graph? Oh, I need a -7. All right, this is supposed to be a -7 right there. All right, that's going to change things. And there's something more. 6x. I don't know how these got missed. There we are. Okay, cool. Here we are. So as you can see, we have a 0 here at 5.5. Okay, and if you need help with your calculator, ask somebody in class to know how to use it because we don't use Desmos on the test. So 5.5 is a 0. All right. So we get, from the graph, we get x equals 5.5. Okay. Now, what we're going to need to do from there is do synthetic division. All right. So synthetic division. We're going to put these coefficients in. 2, -7, 6, -154. And then 5.5 is going to be out here. All right. So we bring down the 2. And 5.5 times 2 is 11. 11 minus 7 is going to be 4. We get 5.5 times 4, which is, my brain is not working very, there we go, 22. 22. 22 plus 6, right, is 28. 5.5 times 28 is going to be 154. And look at that, we got 0 at the end, which is good. That's always a good sign. So now this means that we now have left over a 2x squared plus 4x plus 28. Because we did not see the zeros that belong to this factor of the polynomial on our graph, it means they're going to be imaginary. So our third step would be to factor if it were possible. Factoring by grouping is usually what would happen. But our fourth step, which is what we're going to do here, is going to be the quadratic formula. Okay. And the quadratic formula, if you need to write it down on your cheat sheet, is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right. I didn't sing it for you. I apologize. So let's go ahead and plug that in. I get x equals the opposite of b, which is -4, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So we get -4 plus or minus the square root of, I did not do this one beforehand, so let's see what that is. We get 16 minus, and we're going to have 4 times 2 times 28. So you get -208 underneath the root. All right, and then all over 4. Okay. Now, I'm going to move this over because we can do some simplification here. So I have a -4 plus or minus, let's see what 208. I know I'm going to have an I. 208, I'm going to see if I can divide it by 16. Yep, that was what I was hoping for. So because it can be root 16 and root 13, that's what multiplies to 208, I'm going to write this as 4i root 13, okay, over 4. And that means we're equal to -1 plus or minus I root 13. All right. So all of our zeros for this function, to sum it up, are x equals 5.5 and -1 plus or minus I root 13 and -1 minus, oh, I guess I did plus or minus. So I'm going to do plus and minus I root 13. I'm going to write them separately for this one. All right, hopefully you have been able to benefit from this video and preparing your cheat sheet. If you need more help, please ask your classmates, or you can shoot me a Canvas message or come in after school tomorrow. But we'll see you all for our test next time.